gentlemen, and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I am your host, Brett Murphy, and for today's video, it is going to be another Cinema Showdown. And for today's showdown, it is going to be Bane versus Killmonger. Two ruthless mercenaries, master hand-to-hand combatants, expert tacticians, and two of comics' greatest villains who have gone toe-to-toe and defeated some of our favorite heroes. And in this video, we are going to determine who is the better character and who would win in a fight. So without further ado, let's hop right into things. Round 1. Tactics. Bane actually possesses a genius-level intellect, which most people might not suspect, but Bane is by far one of Batman's most intelligent villains. This includes an eidetic memory, which I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right or not, which essentially means he has near total recall, meaning he can memorize almost anything. He is incredibly knowledgeable in a multitude of subjects. He's also an expert escapologist and an expert strategist. In Bane's first comic book appearance alongside Batman, he completely dismantled the Batman without ever even laying a finger on him. He destroys the walls of Arkham Asylum, freeing almost all of Batman's major villains, leaving him at the brink of absolute exhaustion. Bane discovers the Batcave and waits for Batman's return, and upon his return, Bane defeats him with ease. And if you look at The Dark Knight Rises, he managed to hold all of Gotham hostage. A tactical genius in every sense of the word. Meanwhile, Killmonger is well known to be a master tactician. Given his time with his Black Ops Ghost unit, where he was responsible for planning, or at least aiding in the planning, of many high-level assassinations and the complete destabilization of entire governments. He was able to manipulate Ulysses Claw into aiding him in tracking down a vibranium weapon at a museum, as well as leading him to the hidden city of Wakanda, where he then betrays Claw and uses his dead body as a means to get into the city. And upon his entry, he then challenges T'Challa, the king, for the mantle of the king and the Black Panther, where he sets a plan in motion to release vibranium weapons to those oppressed around the world in order to cease that oppression of those of African descent. Now I know on paper it may seem like Bane's list is much larger, and to be frank, it is. But in my eyes, you're talking about genuine real-world experience where a lot of these tactics are needed. Killmonger has many years of field experience in a Black Ops Ghost unit and with the Navy SEALs. I feel like I'm gonna give the edge to his tactics. Therefore, round 1 is going to go to Killmonger. Round 2. Abilities. The big one for Bane, of course, is the super steroid known as Venom. No, not that Venom. But we'll touch on that in just a second, because that component of Bane's character often overshadows the fact that he is still an immaculate opponent even without it. Aside from all of his tactical abilities, he is a master in hand-to-hand combat. He has indeed become a master of many fighting styles and has even crafted some of his very own. And before Venom had even entered his body, he had achieved peak human physical condition. It is said that even without the Venom, he is stronger than Batman. He is able to lift/press 1,500 pounds. And he has also been known throughout his various forms of medium to be able to stand toe-to-toe with superhumans. Aside from his physical strength without Venom, he is also known to be extraordinarily fast despite his large muscle mass. And very durable, having taken bullets and having suffered through extensive bouts of torture. And then enters Venom, which of course gives Bane superhuman strength and the ability to lift anywhere near 3 to 4 tons. Superhuman speed and reflexes, as well as superhuman endurance, stamina, and durability. Oh, and lastly, he also possesses superhuman healing. Killmonger has quite the extensive list of abilities himself as well, including the fact that he is a master martial artist due to his extensive training with the Navy SEALs and as a Black Ops mercenary. He is also a master in combat with swords and spears, traditional Wakandan weapons. Paired with these things, he is also a master in many other fields as well, including a master assassin after his intensive experiences with his Black Ops Ghost unit, a master marksman once again thanks to his time and field experience with the Navy SEALs and as a Black Ops operative. And just like Bane, Killmonger also has an ace up his sleeve with the heart-shaped herb, which when consumed bestows upon him the powers of the Black Panther, which includes enhanced strength, enhanced durability, enhanced speed, agility, stamina, and enhanced reflexes. Not to mention he gets to wear his own variation of the Black Panther suit. And as we know, these suits make their wearer impervious to bullets, blades, other blunt objects, and occasionally massive explosions and falling from great heights. It essentially makes them near invincible. Though once again they appear neck and neck, I think I might have to give Killmonger the slight edge here because there really are no downsides to any of his abilities. Venom has its downsides as Bane needs to sort of replenish or he will experience severe withdrawals, and Venom has also greatly altered his body and driven many people, including different versions of Bane, insane. Whereas the heart-shaped herb doesn't do anything, doesn't have any negative effects, and then you bring in the Black Panther suit and it makes its wearer essentially invincible. So any way you cut it, it seems to me like Killmonger takes the edge here. Therefore, round 2 is going to go to Killmonger. Round 3, backstory. Bane was born to serve the life sentence of his father, who was a revolutionary leader in Santa Prisca. Due to some wonky medieval codes of this island nation, the man's first son, being Bane, was sent to serve his life sentence before he was even born. Yes, that means that Bane's pregnant mother was sent to prison with him still in her belly. She was sent to Panther, where she raised Bane after his birth until her death when he was just 6 years old. And when she had passed away, Bane was thrust into the general population of the prison. Despite Bane being trapped in prison, it did not inhibit his ability to learn and improve himself. He learns to read and write and gets through any book he can get his hands on. He builds his body by working out in any capacity he can, and learns to fight throughout his violent upbringing in the prison. Eventually, Bane establishes himself as the king of Panther. And out of fear, those who controlled the prison forced Bane into being a test subject for a brand new super steroid known as Venom, with the drug giving him substantial enhancements to his physical strength. From this point, he breaks free from his prison with Gotham City on his mind. Eric Stevens, born as Najaraka, again, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, and better known as Eric Killmonger. He is the son of Prince Njobu, who is brother to King T'Chaka, the Black Panther. In the movie, T'Chaka is forced to kill his own brother in order to protect Zuri, his informant. A young Eric then dedicates his life to fulfilling his father's ultimate goal, of using Wakanda's vibranium to take control of the world and free those oppressed. Now on this path of both righteousness and revenge, Eric rose up with top marks in school, and continued on until he graduated from both the United States Naval Academy and MIT. Before eventually going on to join up with the United States Navy SEALs. He went on to be recruited into a Joint Special Operations Command Ghost unit as a highly skilled Black Ops mercenary. While with this unit, he went on various Black Ops missions to perform high-level assassinations and destabilize entire foreign governments. During these missions, he was responsible for eliminating any targets that got in their way, for which he would cut his skin in a tribal crocodile scarring way, for each life he took. And it was during his time with this unit that he was given the name Killmonger. I really do enjoy both of these backstories, but for me, there's just something a little bit more tragic and a little bit more terrifying about Bane's backstory. He was born and raised in the general population of a prison and went on to rule that prison, break out, and then rule over Gotham City, defeating Batman. Therefore, round 3 is going to go to Bane. Round 4, adversaries. Bane's adversaries consist of the Bat family, of course with the Batman himself being the main one, but he has also squared up against plenty of other superheroes and villains, even in defeat, often holding his own. But of course, what Bane is most notably known for is the fact that he is the only man to have ever broken the Bat, with a slew of iconic shots across various mediums of Bane actually breaking Batman's back. Though Bane has been bested in many confrontations, there's no doubt that he is one of the strongest and toughest to beat opponents in the entire DC universe. Killmonger's main adversary is T'Challa, aka the Black Panther. He defeats T'Challa in ritual combat, with neither of them having any of the enhancements that the heart-shaped herb bestows upon them. Although he is defeated by the end of the movie, it is tough to say if the defeat actually would have occurred if it weren't for the location that the fight took place, as Killmonger is the proven superior fighter. This one is a tough one to pinpoint as well. Both Batman and the Black Panther are some of their respective universes' greatest heroes, both in terms of just being plain old awesome, but they're also known to be some of the best fighters. But the fact that I have seen Bane go up against much more than just Batman, and given that he is the only man to ever break the Bat, I think I'm gonna have to give him the edge in this one. Therefore, round 4 is going to go to Bane. Hold on there for just a quick second, folks. If you're enjoying the video, don't get stuck in that 89% who are currently watching and not subscribed to my channel. If you're enjoying the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button right now in order to find more content just like this. It would be a huge help to me and my channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. And while you're at it, don't forget to ring that little bell icon, that way you can be notified about all of my latest uploads. And now, on to the final rounds. Final round 1, real fight. So you can really look at this two ways. You can look at it with the enhancements of Venom, the heart-shaped herb, and the Black Panther suit, or without the enhancements. If we were looking at it without any enhancements, I think I would have to give the slight edge to Killmonger. Look, I know Bane was literally raised in hell, but there's a difference between prison tough and Navy SEAL / Black Ops mercenary with years of field experience tough. And if Batman with no enhancements can defeat Bane with his enhancements, I think it's safe to say that Killmonger's edge, real field experience with all of these, again, high-level assassinations. I mean, just look at all the scars on his body in the movie. Those are all the people he's killed. So although I know Bane definitely has the edge in physical strength, I feel that Killmonger would have the edge in agility, speed, reflexes. Killmonger's also an expert marksman and an expert with swords and spears and other forms of weaponry. And then if you talk with the enhancements, once again, Bane has been defeated by Batman even with the craziest variations of Venom within him. All you have to do is sever the tubes that go into his body, and it's pretty much a done deal. I really think that Killmonger could even have the edge without any enhancements, even if Bane was jacked up on Venom. But then you give him the heart-shaped herb, I think that would easily give him the edge, and then you give Killmonger the impenetrable Black Panther suit. It's a no contest. I just don't see any way that Bane wins this fight. Therefore, in terms of a real fight, I'm going to give the edge to Killmonger. Final round 2, who is the better character? Now this one is by far the toughest round I've had to score yet, because I really do adore both of these villains. They are some of my favorite, both in terms of live action, in terms of animation, in terms of comic books. They are just flat out some of my favorite villains in both of their respective universes. And while I do think Bane has the stronger backstory, and given that there's so many iconic shots of him being the only one to break the bat, I do agree more with Killmonger's motives. It's sort of one of those times with like right idea, wrong way of going about it. I do very much so agree with what he is doing, I just don't think he's going about it the right way. I feel like Wakanda shouldn't be hiding, which of course they don't later in the MCU, but they should be sharing their vibranium and their wealth and their knowledge and technology with the world, and I agree with him, the whole freeing the oppressed and stuff like that stuff, you know, it cuts very deep with so many people, it has so many great messages, and I understand why he's doing what he's doing, so his motives are definitely superior to Bane's, who just wants to rule over Gotham and defeat Batman and stuff. But again, I feel like Bane's backstory, there's so much mysticism there, and I've seen so many different iterations of Bane as a character. There's been multiple live action versions, multiple comic book versions, multiple times he's been in video games. He has stood toe to toe with some real superheroes. I'm talking like Superman level superhero and super villains. And I feel like he's a character that just has more range. So although I do think that Killmonger has the stronger motives, I think overall as a character, I'm gonna have to give the edge to Bane. Therefore, in terms of who is a better character, I'm giving the slight edge to Bane. So that is all for today's video, folks. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my winner. And feel free to let me know what you'd like to see for the next Cinema Showdown. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you'd like to see more content, consider subscribing to my channel and ringing that little bell icon. That way you can be notified about all of my latest uploads. And as always, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching. And that's a wrap. Hey you, yeah you, if you made it this far, just know I appreciate you. And while you're here, consider hitting that subscribe button.